Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
Hello, Namaskar. You're watching BTTV. This is Market Today. I'm Tanya Aneja and with me Shail Bhatnagar, our markets editor. Well, Indian markets are on a roll and the rally just seems to be unstoppable. So where are the pockets of opportunities and what should be your strategy? We'll discuss this and much more. But first up, the top headlines for you. Indian stocks are likely to consolidate in a sideways band on Wednesday as weak overseas cues and a 6-day rally put investors in a pause mode. Private banks may continue to attract traders on the long side. Stocks such as Zee Entertainment, Hindalco and Union Bank will be in focus as specific news events impact prices on the long and short side. Cash markets are now mixed as traders prefer to book profit at higher levels. Very good morning, Shail. And if we talk about Indian markets, they are on a roll. They have extended the gains for the 6th consecutive session yesterday and Nifty surpassed that 22,200 level for the very first time. But let's understand from you now that where do you see Nifty going forward and what should be the strategy for today?
A very good morning to you, Tanya, and a warm welcome to thousands of viewers who are joining us on this lovely Wednesday after good morning on market today. Tanya, a lot of interesting things are happening in the market. Of course, as you mentioned that the rally is now on its 6th day as far as the Nifty is concerned. We are already at a record high, 22,196. The index was above 22,200 for a while, but it ended marginally lower from its intraday highs. Still managed to gain about 74 points. This is the intraday and the daily chart for the Nifty right in front of you. And my prognosis, Tanya, is that after this stunning rally from a low of 20,500 to 22,196, I think it's time for the index to pause a bit. We've had 6 days of relentless partying and cues at the moment coming in from Wall Street are on the weak side, as also investors need to digest gains that they've made over the last 5 or 6 trading sessions. The GIFT Nifty is also pointing to a flat opening. So my understanding is that the markets, as far as the Nifty is concerned, will be in a flat to sideways zone. Remember, we are on T-1 as far as the Nifty is concerned on the option side, and we'll be having the weekly expiry tomorrow. In any case, the Nifty's surged something like 2.5%, 3% over the last 5 trading sessions, 6 trading sessions, and those gains need to be digested. We are also seeing, some kind of profit booking coming in at higher levels, as you can make out from the way foreign institutional investors' data is coming in. Let's just talk about the chain. As far as the Nifty options chain is concerned, Tanya, 22,300 is something that the Nifty will strike in the coming week or so. But as of now, it's sort of, gathering steam at about 22,100, 22,000, because a lot of very, very heavy put writing has been done by the bulls. That essentially means that they are creating support. For instance, if you look at 22,100, yesterday we saw about 63,60,000 puts being in terms of open interest, and the change, that is the addition, was positive, about 17,64,000. Similarly, at 22,000 you have about a fresh addition of 12.16 lakh puts, which essentially brings the total OI to about 85.7 lakhs. So these are two very, very strong support levels that are coming in. And Tanya, what is the most heartening part for Nifty is that finally HDFC Bank has started to click in. We'll discuss this one under the Bank Nifty head, but very heavy short covering seen in ITM calls, that points to bull strength. Very heavy put writing at 22,100, 22,000, which points to a very strong support. So any dip towards 22,000, 22,100 needs to be purchased on the Nifty for a nice decent bounce. Tanya.
Okay, absolutely got that, Shail, and I was actually coming to HDFC Bank only because yesterday also we saw Nifty Bank ending at 47,094 odd level, 558 points higher, and of course HDFC Bank and Axis Bank, they were the top gainers in yesterday's trading session. But let's understand from you now that what are you looking for on Bank Nifty index today, and what are the fresh support and resistance levels according to you?
Okay, Tanya. Today is the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty. Let's make it very clear that I am expecting flat trade. But let's look at the positives. One, the daily chart is right there in front of you. The index is now at least at a 1 month high. Yesterday was a very, very nice blowout. We saw 558 points being added and the index reclaiming 47,000 levels. Now, Tanya, if you look at the slightly longer term picture, it's the Bank Nifty that has underperformed the Nifty on a slightly longer term time frame. If you look at 1 quarter, the Bank Nifty is just up 8% and the Nifty is up 12.5%. That's primarily because HDFC Bank was underperforming. Now, over the weekend, HDFC Bank had an analyst con call with the entire market, and it said that a tepid third quarter earnings, just as one swallow doesn't make a summer, 1 week third quarter earnings does not mean that the bank has derailed itself, and it will not go after high cost deposits. Now that was taken very, very positively by the entire market. And what's really interesting, Tanya, is that if you look at the Bank Nifty group over the quarterly period, HDFC Bank is down 3.7%. So it is an underperforming stock, and it is also the heaviest weighted stock in Bank Nifty. Now, yesterday's move from say 2-month, 3-month lows on HDFC Bank is heartening, and the delivery statistics on HDFC Bank are phenomenal. Something to the tune of 2,600 crores is what the delivery that has been picked up, mostly by large players. So my understanding is that HDFC Bank is in a repair mode. When will it reclaim its all-time highs? Only time will tell. But I think a good base has been set, and this is now ripe for an uptick, a decent, how should I say, slow but steady kind of a performer from these levels, and that will have a very, very decent impact on the Bank Nifty, because HDFC Bank is the leading contributor in terms of weightage as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned. Yesterday's data was full of short covering or long build up in four private banks. So that's the reason why I see a very, very strong build up happening in HDFC Bank and Kotak, and today being flat, which is fine, but let's look forward to a good uptick on Bank Nifty in the days to come, Tanya.
Absolutely got that, Shail, and all eyes are on HDFC Bank. Let's see how the action pans out going forward. But let's discuss F&O space as well. Lots happening there. So what are you looking at in the F&O space today?
Tanya, you remember there was this lovely Shah Rukh Khan movie which was Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I do.
I think you must have been in school, maybe 2nd or 3rd standard when it came. We are also waiting for Gaurang Shah to join us. He's also a Bollywood buff, and we'll discuss Zee Entertainment in the light of Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na. Let's see if we can patch Gaurang in. We'll wait for a while. But एक दिन हाँ और एक दिन ना, तो ये जी एंटरटेनमेंट के साथ चल रहा है विद इट्स प्लान्ड डीरेल्ड मर्जर विद सोनी. कभी हाँ कह देते हैं, कभी ना कह देते हैं. तो कल इट वाज द टॉप गेनर ऑन एफएनओ because media reports suggested that the planned merger is back on the track. Yesterday evening, Zee has denied doing anything. So you can well imagine what will happen to today. That is something that I am looking forward to. Also Hindalco. Now its aluminium subsidiary in the US has filed for a IPO, and since the entire stake is held by Hindalco, that money will be coming back to Hindalco via the IPO route, and that is something that I'm looking at as far as individual stock prices are concerned. So Tanya, only these two, Zee and Hindalco.
Okay, all eyes are now on Zee and Hindalco. By the way, Shail, Gaurang Shah, our market guest, he's with us right now. He's the Senior VP at Geodit Financial. Good morning, Mr. Shah. Always good to have you on BTTV. Very good morning. Let's begin with your thoughts on the Indian markets, because Indian markets are on a roll. But let's understand from you that whether this momentum will continue going forward or not.
Thank you for having me on the show, and morning to all of you all. So I think last week, Wednesday, you were missing in action. My good friend Shail and good colleague Sakshi were there on the show. And I think it was on last week, Wednesday, Shail and me and Sakshi were discussing about markets, and we had mentioned a lower level of 21,600 on the lower side. And Wednesday itself, because of the news flow from US, correct me if I'm wrong, we breached those levels of 21,600. And of course, by the time we did wind up the trade, we had recovered quite a bit of lost ground. And as a result of that, we are where we are. We have already seen an all-time high, a new all-time high. And I guess the momentum should continue barring 1 or 2 days of consolidation, profit booking, range-bound trade. And I think range-bound trade and consolidation is always good for the market because it makes a durable bottom. And that bottom or that foundation helps you to withstand the higher levels. You don't kind of give off with an high anxiety kind of approach. So since we are at an all-time high, we have been there yesterday. I think a brief period of consolidation, profit booking cannot be ruled out this week. Triggers are not there as much on the domestic front as much as in the global arena, be it with the stupid actions of Houthi rebels in the Red Sea or any kind of unforeseen news flow from the global markets could possibly dampen our spirits. But I think we have the capability and capacity to consolidate and recover sooner rather than later.
Okay. Very warm good morning to you, Gaurang, and an equally warm welcome on market today. I'd just like to discuss the mature reaction that the street has shown on HDFC Bank, even though the management has said, it's not, I mean, the good times are not coming quickly, and you'll have to give us 3-4 quarters to digest this merger pain that is going around, and the fact that, high CASA deposits will not be chased to boost the ratio. How do you see yesterday's price reaction and your medium-term view outlook on HDFC Bank?
So, Shail, I think it was good to see this maturity because post-merger, everybody was singing a song about how two strong entities have merged together and a strong balance sheet has emerged, virtually with no competitors of equal strength. Then I think some Gora came out with a bright idea of margins coming under pressure. Stock kind of lost its momentum, came down. And then of course there was underperformance because of the numbers and the commentary. And I think 1 quarter number cannot erase a very strong and formidable history that HDFC Bank or erstwhile HDFC Limited, HDFC banks have created. And my sense and our sense at Geojit, honestly, Shail, is that we've been positive on this stock even before when there were separate entities. Once they merged, we were equally pleased as the street was pleased. Numbers in terms of third quarter, maybe disappointment for some, not much for us because we have a long-term approach on HDFC Bank. And if you are of an opinion that India can become the next trillion-dollar economy, I think banking and finance will have to lead from the front to go towards that next trillion-dollar economy. And credit demand is going to be equally robust. Asset quality is no problem. Provisioning is down. Margins can come under pressure. CASA ratios can be a little bit here and there than what the street estimates is, because it's for the banks and NBFCs. One thing you have to remember is that what the cost they borrow and what cost they lend. And if they lend at a decent rate, their asset quality does stay stronger over a longer period of time. I don't know about short to medium term shell, but we are targeting 2000 rupees on HDFC Bank on the fundamental side.
Okay, that's a very nice thought process that look at this as an opportunity to probably add a quality portfolio stock over the longer term. Remember, good prices and good times don't come together. Either one of them has to give way, and HDFC Bank perhaps provides a very, how should I say, scarce and rare opportunity to be added to your portfolio, much below long time highs. And of course, you need to take an independent financial view if you sort of do that. Gaurang, before you came in, Tanya and I were discussing this, Shah Rukh Khan movie, Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na, in the context of the derailed merger between Zee and Sony. Monday, last week it was off, Monday it was on, Tuesday it's off. What do you think? How was the movie, one, if you've seen it, and two, your view on Zee?
To answer your first question, I'm not much of a movie buff, to be very honest, and not a King Khan fan, as a matter of fact. You'll be surprised, Shell. The last movie that me and my good part, my wife, saw in a theater or a multiplex was Three Idiots. I think it was 13 or 14 years back. After that, I haven't visited a theater, so I don't contribute to the Inox PVR balance sheet, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Kabhi Ha, Kabhi Na. I've heard about the movie, and I think it's a very apt situation for Sony and Zee. And I would go to the extent of saying that ऐसे वक्त पे केएन साइगल साहब का दर्द भरा गाना गाने को जी करता है, क्योंकि अगर आप निवेशक हैं तो आप उस लोटे की तरह है जो कभी इधर लुढ़कता है कभी उधर लुढ़कता है, निर्णायक तरीके से सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी पे नहीं खड़ा रहता है. तो I hope that wisdom and common sense prevails upon these managements, whether it is Z or whether it is Sony. I mean, you talk about this merger for 6 months, 1 year, then because of some personal interest of some individual, I don't want to go into naming anybody, the deal is called off without taking into consideration the future of the company, the future of the employees, and of course, what is going to be the prospects of those shareholders who have invested in your company. I'm more pained by this. I'm more antagonized by this, Shell, because we have a fundamental coverage on Zee Entertainment. I'm sorry to say that. And I would say this, that more than earnings, this stock is, and will be driven as to which way the news flows.
Okay, absolutely got that, Mr. Shah. But what are your top stocks to watch out for? I mean, the stocks that are on your radar?
तो हमारे परम मित्र शैल साहब ने बैंकिंग क्षेत्र से शुरुआत की थी, हमें प्रश्न पूछा था एचडीएफसी बैंक पर. So two alternative ideas, one from private sector bank and one from public sector bank, post the third quarter earnings. And Tanya, I think it's prudent on my part to mention these two names because I would have definitely spoken about them in our earlier interaction. And the reason I want to mention them again is because we have seen the third quarter earnings of these two banks, and they definitely qualify for a re-rating upside. First one is Axis Bank from private sector bank, and second one is State Bank of India. And I'm equally gung ho, so I think I can uh, cement my confidence in HDFC Bank also in terms of performance. Maybe it may take a while, but definitely it will come through. So, two investment ideas: State Bank of India and Axis Bank.
Okay, State Bank of India and Axis Bank, these are the two picks coming in. But what about Hindalco also, Mr. Shah? Because we have been discussing all these buzzing stocks. So this stock
Yes.
will be in focus today because of its US-based fully owned subsidiary Novelis that has filed for an IPO with the Securities and Exchange Commission. So first of all, Mr. Shah, how do you look at this news, and where is the stock headed according to you in the
So
medium term?
result was disappointing. We saw a downward move, Tanya. And after that, of course, contribution from Novalis was also a little bit of small question mark, nothing really great that would concern us as a disclosure. Give me a disclosure. Let me give a disclosure first, Tanya. We have a coverage on the fundamental side on Hindalco. We are extremely upbeat about the product offering and the opportunity in the future in terms of demand outlook. Novalis IPO valuation, when, why, I don't have clarity on that, so I won't make any forward-looking statements. But I think it'll definitely create a opportunity for value creation for all those investors of Hindalco.
Gaurang, let's just widen this discussion to include now uh, the third quarter performance, which is behind our backs, the markets post that performance hitting a record high, at least on the Nifty and many other indices. What, according to you, has been the biggest disappointment?
FMCG is a little bit of disappointment, but we factored that in, Shell, honestly. Given the erratic monsoon last year and given the fact that third quarter was immediately the first earning that came to us after the monsoon, so that was a little bit of disappointment, if you will. Barring that, I think one or two mid-cap IT names disappointed me to a great extent, and of course they suffered their faith also because of those numbers that they delivered. Other than that, I don't see any big dark spots in terms of durable long-term impact on and FMCG also was just one of quarters. Share. Let me say this: I'm quite sure that fourth quarter and new fiscal 1st April 24 onwards, we are going to be sizable, seeing a sizable amount of improvement. And that impact on FMCG was primarily because of the lower volume and demand for lower end products from semi-urban and rural India, which is solely dependent again on the monsoon because of the agri connection. So these were the two misses for me in terms of earnings, but not as great as it could create any kind of domino effect.
And how about reacting to the disappointment that we saw in the specialty chemicals as also the broader chemical space? No margin upliftment, actually top line contracting, and a lot of pain visible in most stock prices. Would you have a pick in that sector?
So I have one too many, to be very honest, Shell. And let me say this: it was not only the third quarter for specialty agrochemicals. I think from the beginning of this financial year, because first two quarters, that is first quarter and second quarter, went in terms of capex, in terms of investing in R&D, in terms of acquiring certain companies, whether in organic or organic growth, etc., etc. Then, of course, in terms of expectation, we were expecting that this third quarter number should throw in a little bit of positivity, but for most of the companies that did not happen, be it UPL, be it PI Industries, because of the news flow from China about its the company that it was supplying to is now going to be competitor for PI Industries in a particular product segment. And then, of course, a little bit of concern in terms of other companies. But yeah, we do have positive coverage on UPL. We have positive coverage on PI Industries. I was listening into the management commentary of Vinity Organics. Over there also, Shell, we have a coverage. Aarti Industries is the other one that we are positive on. Pidilite is the other one that we are positive on. So we've got a couple of coverages, couple of reduced sell recommendation in form of Tata Chemicals. Since the target price that we had in mind was achieved, we have a reduce or a sell recommendation on Tata Chemicals, but others we are positive, especially PI Industries because it has come down quite drastically on fallback of that news flow.
Okay, absolutely got that, Mr. Shah. But I think let's discuss Coal India as well. I mean, what is your take on Coal India? A lot of brokerages have come out with their view, saying that the valuations are fair and the stock has rallied from 220 to now 450. But all the dividend yield good news is in the price and the best of earnings are also priced in. So what are your thoughts?
Last 1 year has been a phenomenal run for not only Coal India, even a stock called NTPC, Tanya.
Yes.
These were the two government-owned companies which I personally felt at one point of time कि इनको 1000 हाथी की ताकत लगेगी 2 कदम चलने के लिए. But I think last 1 year they have done pretty well on fallback of numbers, etc. in terms of commentary of business outlook. For Coal India specifically, since you asked that question, I think when you are in the business of mining coal from Mother Earth, you come across a lot of situation and circumstances which are very difficult to overcome in terms of short to medium term, and that may have its impact on the balance sheet. No denying about that. Absolutely agree with that. In terms of quality of coal has improved, output has improved. They have added number of washeries to wash the coal of its negativities. And in terms of consumption, I don't think there is going to be any kind of uh, lower level of consumption domestically, and equally importantly, I think export market looks good. So we have coverage on Coal India. I mentioned NTPC as a disclosure. We do have coverage over there also. But because of the number and because of the certain output related issues, you may see some amount of consolidation in the near term.
Okay, absolutely got that. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to take a short break. But pre-open market action coming up for you in a bit. Stay tuned.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
Welcome back. It's a wonderful Wednesday morning in New Delhi. Let's look at how prices are at the pre-open trade. I'll avoid mentioning the Nifty. It's not going to happen that way. Let's focus on individual stocks, how they are moving within the index. We'll focus on the positives because you'll see a very nice uptick there. State Bank of India, ladies and gentlemen, 1.25% higher. Up $9 at 769. Tata Motors is opening a percent higher, 935. That's a gain of about 8 rupees 65. Kotak Bank. Now this is really interesting. 15 rupees 50 paise higher, 1778. And the star of the show, which took away the breath yesterday, HDFC Bank for the moment is opening 12 rupees lower at 1443. What else is interestingly poised? L&T is flat at about 33.65. Bajaj Finance is 0.5% higher, 68. And let's look at now the index heavyweights in terms of Reliance as well as Infosys. Flat on Infosys 1685, and Reliance is 42 rupees lower at 2900 rupees. The index is now a sensible quote, minus 91 at 22,105. We'll wait for these to improve because the quotes that we are seeing on ICICI Bank and TCS are not possible. They will also improve for the better. Let's shift focus to F&O stocks. Hindalco taking it away, 5% higher, 538.70. You have a strong uptick coming in on NMDC post its strong earnings, 2.9% higher to 48. Wipro remains in fine fettle 1% higher, 538. And we have let's look at what Zee is doing. Well, it was the top gainer yesterday. It's the top loser today, 10% lower, 173. ICICI Bank has improved. Now it's down just 2%, about 1024. And the index Nifty is now down just 26 points. This will improve further. One very quick look at NSE 500. The top gainers on this side are Paytm, 5% again. This is the third successive day of a 5% uptick, 395 for you. You have Saregama, 4% higher, 424. You have Union Bank. This is a bank which has announced a 3,000 rupee QIP, 146 rupees, 3.5% higher. You have the likes of SW Solar, 609, 92% higher. You have, I think that's about it. Let's look at top losers on the NSC. I would say, let's mark Hero Motors. They've mentioned that two-wheeler sales are not in the best of health, 45.99, 1.38% higher. The Nifty now absolutely flattening out, 22,183, just 11 points lower. I want to see what HDFC Bank is doing. Now up 1%, 1470. This is going to be a good opening, at least for the Bank Nifty. Tanya.
Okay, absolutely. And let's pull up Devyani International as well, because this stock will be in focus today on the back of the news that the Yum Restaurant India is likely to sell a 4.4% equity stake in this company via block deals, and this is according to some sources. Coming to you, Mr. Shah, quickly for your thoughts on Devyani International.
Not currently, but when the IPO, I think quite a while back, when it was there, we had a coverage. Currently, we don't have a coverage. But I think anything to do with QSR, especially the likes of the dominance of Jubilant Foodworks, which goes by the names of Domino's Pizza, was a dominating factor, and still that company is a dominating factor in the QSR segment. So you have likes of Devyani International, you have restaurant brands, you have Westlife, and you have a strong 35% young population at the age of 30 and 20 or below that, which commands a very huge dominance in the QSR segment. No specific comments since we don't have coverage on this one.
Okay, absolutely. And what about Tourism Finance Corporation, Mr. Shah? Because the investor Aditya Kumar Halvasia has bought around 1,18,000. He has bought around 1 crore equity shares via open market transaction at an average price of 209.75 rupees per share. What are your thoughts on this particular stock?
Well, Tanya, my humble request to all your viewers and investors is that for the love of God, please don't try to ape anybody. Do your own homework and then invest. You don't know what the risk appetite XYZ has in terms of investing a huge amount or picking up a large stake from the. You have to look your own risk appetite and you have to gauge your own capabilities and capacities and apply a little bit of mind and wisdom before investing. I mean, if you have to ape anybody and do, it's like monkey see, monkey do. I have never been an advocate of doing such things. It's always better to depend on your own work rather than somebody else's borrowed tricks.
Okay. Another block deal I'd like to discuss with you, Gaurang, is this 24% stake sale by Whirlpool's US parent to a clutch of Indian mutual funds. How do you see in this this in the broad market structure of Whirlpool being an underperformer over the last 4-5 years, and what message is this stake sale sending to the Indian market?
So I think the parent or any large investor would want to take money off the table because of their own good reason. I think couple of days back we had one large investor exiting out of Sula Vineyard share. So there is going to be, on one side if you look at it, glass is half empty. From the other side you look at it, the glass is half full. because if somebody is selling it, somebody else is buying it. In terms of okay, we have coverage on Whirlpool also. Along with that, amongst consumer durable appliances and white goods, we have coverage on Voltas, Blue Star, Symphony, as a matter of fact, Shell. And we are extremely excited about the demand that is going to come in from the semi-urban and rural India. Because of the news flow, depending upon at what level, what valuation, what price a large investor is going to exit, and in what format that large investor is going to exit, whether it is going to be one time, whether it is going to be parts over a period of time, like we've seen it in Interglobe Aviation, wherein one promoter at continuous intervals exits a particular percentage. So all depends. Unfortunately, from a short to medium term, because of these situations and circumstances, you might have pressure on XYZ company which is in question.
Okay, absolutely. Mr. Shah, autos as a pack has been doing really well. So, what is your view? I mean, do you prefer two-wheelers, four-wheelers? Any top bets that you have from the auto sector?
Oh, choices across, Tanya, from two-wheelers to four-wheelers to three-wheelers to commercial vehicles to tractors. Uh, One company that I would possibly want to make a mention, because we've just seen a curtains down for third quarter earnings, is Hero MotoCorp. Uh, I think yesterday it was at 4000, 4800 or thereabouts, or maybe 4500 or 4600. Uh, we have a positive coverage. In fact, we have raised our targets to 5400 on the fundamental side from a long-term point of view. Other than that, of course, likes of Ashok Leyland from a pure commercial vehicle play. Eicher Motors with respect to series and high-end motorcycles. And then you have likes of M&M and Tata Motors, along with TVS Motors as well as Bajaj Auto.
Okay, absolutely. And you know,
Tanya, you've touched a very.
yeah, please go ahead, Shell.
Yeah, please continue. Please continue. You continue.
No, no, Shall actually I was talking about Power Grid because that stock was the top gainer yesterday, and the board has approved an investment worth about 656 odd crore rupees. So, coming to you, Mr. Shah, quickly for all these power stocks, any stocks that you like, and your thoughts on Power Grid stock as well?
So Power Grid is under our coverage.
Hmm.
Uh, Tata Power, NTPC, Torrent Power, CSC. Uh, in terms of power generation, power transmission, distribution, power grid, power equipments, we like KEC International, L&T, Siemens, ABB. And my sense is that all these companies are going to be seeing a major turnaround because of the new capacities that are going to come.
Okay, let's now focus at on some other prices. The Nifty settled 52 points higher, 22,248. There is a 270 point uptick planned on Nifty Bank, 47,363. Let's look at the rail pack. Anything out of interest there on the green side? Yes. ABB, the company came out with its numbers, 2.5% higher, 4640. That's looking good. Let's look at the PSU basket. What's the top gainer here? It seems to be Union Bank, 4% higher, 146.70. Remember, 3,000 rupee QIP is in the pipeline. Metals, NMDC, 1.5% higher, 244.75. You have a 1% rise on MRPL, a 1.1% rise on Shipping Corporation of India. Let's look at high beta stocks. And in high beta stocks, you have 5% uptick on 395 at this one, Paytm. You have good move coming in on Zomato, 1% higher, 162.30. Gaurang, your view on Zomato? Very strong earnings, and it's the third successive quarter of a profit reporting.
We have raised our targets to 175 shares. Covered it in the IPO. Post the IPO, we saw stock move towards 140, 130, and then it came down below the IPO price, and then it started to recover. What excites me, Shell, about Zomato is not only the food delivery platform, but Blinkit, which is a home groceries delivery platform, charging handling fee or delivery fee, and along with that, a platform fee. That is going to be contributing to a great extent. And along with that, of course, Zomato, the food delivery platform, has also started to charge platform fee. It's a small fee, but it turns out to be a big amount in terms of profitability. From put both together, the total sum of handling charges as well as platform fee. We like the stock. We have coverage. Increase the targets to 175.
Okay, that's the number that's coming in on Zomato. Remember, it was at 80 rupees before it announced a first quarter profit, and it's now doubled in less than 9 months, right there in front of you on very, very strong volumes. Gaurang, I hesitate to ask, but would you want to comment on Paytm?
So we had a positive coverage. Before the news came out, we had kept the coverage on Paytm, which was on the buy side under review. During our review process, this news came, and by default, of course, now we have a reduced rating. I think the stock is moving up because of the Axis Bank news, but I don't think there is too much of clarity that at least we require is still there out in the public domain. So we have a reduced recommendation currently, and my sense is that people should not, investors should not jump in just because the stock fell from a particular level 50% to a B particular level, and from that B particular level it has gone up to C particular level. I think just hold on to your horses.
Right.
We have a sell recommendation.
Okay. Okay. Nilesh Jain, AVP Technical Research at Centrum Broking with us. Good morning to you, Nilesh. Very quickly before markets open, your two top picks that you're looking at.
We are liking Pidilite Industries. We have witnessed a good reversal in this particular counter. So structure looks positive for further up move to continue towards 2800. That's the immediate target, followed by 2850. And at current level, it can be added, keeping stop loss below 2700. The another stock that we are liking is Bajaj Consumer, and we have witnessed a good falling wedge kind of a pattern breakout yesterday with huge volume. So this particular counter is also looking strong for a position target of 245 to 255. Can be bought at current level and on decline, keeping stop loss below 220.
Okay, the markets are open, ladies and gentlemen, on this lovely Wednesday morning. The Nifty flattens out 11 points higher, 22,210. 97 points uptick on Nifty Bank at 47,203. The IT index is in pain. That's because of the weakness coming in from overseas. About 1/3% lower at 37,750. Okay. Now let's look at what the big boys are doing. We have the first view on HDFC Bank, flat 1454. What's Reliance doing? Reliance at the moment is ticking somewhere in the vicinity of a flat trade, a rupee higher at 29.43. How about Infosys? Infosys should be in the red, minus 23 rupees 1660. How about SBI? A rupee 50 higher, 761.85. How about let's look at the two private banks. Axis Bank flat 1087, and ICICI 9 rupees higher, 1057. Flat kind of an opening. TCS is down 1%, 39.86. The Nifty flattening out completely. A very quick detour to FNO. Minus index heavyweights, no surprise here, 10% downtick on Zee Entertainment, 173.40. Hero Motors highlights weak two-wheeler sales, 2% lower, 45.74. So it's the big boys that are losing stream in terms of top losers. Infosys, TCS, HCL Tech, Tech Mahindra, Persistent are the top 5 losers amongst the top 7 as far as prices are concerned. Very quick view on what is gaining ground. Hindalco, Newsboy 2.8% higher, 526. Earnings Boy ABB taking it away, 4% higher, 47.26. You have Idea Cellular 1.5% higher, 16.25. How about other stocks? Nothing much to look at here. A very quick detour to NSE 500. The Nifty is still flat, 16 points higher. Campus, you have Paytm 5% higher, 395. Devyani International 172.40, 4% higher. ABB 5% higher now. Union Bank, this is news driven, 6.5% higher, now 149.60. Top losers here, Zee, All Cargo and Supreme Industries down anywhere between 10 and 1.5%. How about most active? It's led by HDFC Bank. Coming to you, Nilesh, what are your first views on the market? Anything that catches your excitement and frenzy?
Right. So the first, move that we saw is looking on a slightly on a positive side. Good part is that we have already witnessed a good development on derivative data front. 22,100, 22,200 strike have started gaining OI addition on the put side, and call writers are shifting towards 22,500. So the range has shifted higher. The bias is positive. Any decline can be bought into a few stocks that are looking positive at current level. So from within metal space, you have already mentioned about Hindalco. The JSPL is another counter that is looking positive for the day for the further upside move to continue towards the 790 to 800. 765 should be the stop loss. So JSPL can also be added. And apart from that, Mahindra and Mahindra Finance here as well, we are witnessing a good attraction today. So looks positive for further pullback to continue towards 300 to 305. Stop loss can be placed below 290.
Okay, let's look at the broader market. We track 19 indices for you. 17 of them are in the green, and the top gainer at the moment is the Nifty Metals Index, 1.2% higher, 8,053. Your very, very quick view on Hindalco, Nilesh.
So Hindalco, we have seen a lot of pain. A big gap down opening can also be seen on the chart on 13th of February. So now it is making an attempt to fill that particular gap, but not attractive that much. Although we might see some pullback to continue towards 540 to 550. But I'm not getting that kind of confidence to take any trade on the long side at current level. Rather, I would like to go with the other metal names that we have just discussed about JSPL and JSW Steel.
Okay, absolutely. Got that, Nilesh. And Nilesh, I think we should also discuss Zomato, because the stock is up 4% as we speak, 167.85. That's the level on this particular stock. Stellar set of Q3 numbers, and it's of course trading at record highs. It has actually recovered significantly from its 52-week low of 49 rupees as well. But what do the technical charts suggest now for Zomato?
So technicals are looking very strong. The stock is constantly in an uptrend after hitting lows near about 50 levels in the month of March 23. So year back. So from past 1 year, constantly we are witnessing a higher top and higher bottom formation on the monthly time frame chart. It is shy away from hitting all-time high. The previous high that is placed as 169. So from here, we expect this particular counter to move towards 175 to 180 on immediate basis. So these can be the short-term target. Can be bought on decline since we have already witnessed a good spurt in this week. So better to wait for some meaningful, correction on the back of profit taking. Then probably it can be bought keeping stop loss below 160. So undertone looks positive for 175 to 180.
Okay, absolutely got that. And Nilesh, Union Bank as well. Okay. Union Bank, coming to Union Bank, Nilesh, it's the top gainer for you from the mid-cap space, and it's on, of course, on the back of 3,000 crore QIP issue news that we have seen. What do the technical charts suggest for Union Bank?
For the medium term, the structure looks very strong on the chart as well. Recently, it hit a high of 155. From those levels, we saw some amount of profit taking. But now, looking at the reversal that we saw from the levels of 135, it looks like it is heading towards 155 in the short run, and followed by 160. So yes, those who are already holding the long position can continue to stay put, keeping stop loss below 144. Overall, PSU banking space as a whole is looking attractive at current level as well. So State Bank of India is still our preferred bet within this particular basket for the upside target of 800. One can keep a stop loss below 745.
Let's again visit Zomato. There's been a block deal at 29.9 lakh shares, and of course now the counter is well within striking distance of its all-time high, which was 169 rupees. This was seen in November of 2021. The counter, of course, today's high has been 167.75. Let me just mark the broader market. It's very clear from how the PSU banking basket is moving that strong action is coming into Bank of Baroda, in PNB, in Canara Bank, as also the rally being led by State Bank of India, 765. Let's just drill this down further within the PSU banking basket. I just want to see some volume buzzers. Okay. Union Bank, Tanya has already marked this. You have Bank of India, 145.90, 2.7% higher, and 10% of volume is already done, which is the 5-day average, about 25 lakh shares. A very quick view, Nilesh, on Bank of India.
So yes, overall PSU banking space, as I mentioned, is looking attractive. Even Bank of India is looking positive on the chart. So overall, in all the PSU stocks, we have witnessed a good reversal in last couple of trading sessions. Bank of India looks positive of 155 target and can be bought at current level as well, keeping stop loss below 141. The upside is open for 150 on immediate basis, followed by 155.
Okay. Gaurang, would you have a view on Bank of India? This was again a QIP-led move at about 120 rupees. The stock now rapidly sort of inching up to about 146.55.
So let me put down a small list of PSU banks which we cover other than State Bank of India. We have Canara Bank, we have Bank of Baroda, we have Bank of India, and we have PNB. Yes, because of the news that you mentioned, Bank of India is currently in action. But my sense, Shail, is there has been a major turnaround in the earnings for PNB, and the management commentary is very, very strong. And I recollect that whenever we took the name of PNB, the two faces that come in front of us is Mehul Choksi and the other member. So and now that is a thing of the past. I think at 130 or 131, wherever it is placed, our sense is that the earnings to come forward will definitely qualify for a very strong upward re-rating for Punjab National Bank.
Okay. Let's also mark a couple of other sectors, Tanya, that are moving in sync with some gains. I'd like to look at what is moving within the F&O in terms on green. Okay, Marico 0.5% higher, 538. This was a stock that we had discussed yesterday. Jindal Steel and Power, I think this is a record high now, 3% higher, 781. The metals pack, Tanya, is in very, very fine shape. Amongst the top 7-8 counters on the F&O space, 5 are from the metals space. Jindal Steel and Power 782 for you, 3% higher. Hindalco 2.5% higher, 524. National Aluminium 1.9% higher, 163.25. JSW Steel 2% higher, 836. Vedant also is in the green. There is a Supreme Court hearing on its Tuticorin copper plant today, 274.10, 1.4% higher. Reliance taking it away, and that also means that the Nifty would be up 222, 16 up 20. A very quick view, Nilesh, from you on ABB. This is taking it away and driven primarily by better than expected earnings. 48.10, and the counter is 6% higher.
Right, so today we have seen a gap up opening, and stock has reclaimed its 50-day moving average as well. So structure is looking strong, and so far we have seen higher than our average volume of more than 4.5 lakh contract has been traded here. So the structure is indicating that this particular counter is likely to move towards 5,000 sort of levels on the upside, and the support is somewhere around 46.50. So that should be the stop loss for the long position. The upside is open for 5,000 plus.
Okay, absolutely. Got that. And, Shail, let's discuss Bank of Baroda as well, because PSU's basket, this is doing really well in today's trading session. So, Nilesh, coming to you for a quick technical check on Bank of Baroda. The stock is up over 44% in the past 6 months. And if we look at the 1 year performance, it's up around 72 odd percent. What do the technical charts suggest now?
So technicals for all the PSU banking space as a whole is indicating a further up move to continue. So specifically counters like SBI, PNB, and Can Bank and Bank of Baroda, all these three, four counters are looking strong. Bank of Baroda is constantly forming a high top and high bottom formation and looks positive for 280 to 285 sort of target in the short run. Stop loss can be placed near about its recent swing low of 268. So that should be the stop loss, and the outlook continues to remain on a positive side.
Sonata Software, I think we should pull up this stock as well. One of the top gainers for you from the small cap space. Coming to you, Nilesh, for a quick technical check. 4% up as we speak. 853 is the level. Significantly recovered from its 52-week low of 343 odd level. What are the charts telling you now for Sonata Software?
It is trading almost at all-time high levels, and the structure for this particular counter as well is looking on a stronger side, on a positive side. So we can expect further up move to continue towards 875 to 890 sort of a target on the upside. So yes, can be added on declines, keeping stop loss below 825 for the further upside move to continue towards 870, 890, or maybe it can cross 900 levels as well.
What about you, Mr. Shah? What are your thoughts on Sonata Software and any IT pick that you would like to recommend?
Tanya, we don't cover this stock, so I won't be specific. But in Midcap IT, if you will, two names, Science Limited and KPIT Tech.
Okay.
Fair point. Sakshi, I'm so sorry, Tanya. Let's just shift the momentum into the FNO space and see what else is moving in terms of open interest. That should be something to looking forward to. Okay, ABB has an open interest uptick of 4.4%. Fair point. Ashok Leyland. Yes, this is one stock that I'd like to discuss. The company has announced that it is going to set up an EV facility in Uttar Pradesh. First to you, Gaurang. We've seen a very, very sharp rally across the board in autos, whether it's four-wheelers like Tata Motors, Maruti, M&M. Two-wheelers have just taken it away. Your view on Ashok Leyland?
Pure commercial vehicle play, Shell, was into mid and heavy commercial. Sometime back, they also ventured into the LCV segment. And now they have select models in the three-wheelers also in terms of light commercial vehicle, ultra-light commercial vehicle. We've been positive from 45 levels, to be very honest, on Ashok Leyland, quite some time back. And I think consistent business strategy being implemented at ground level has made the company turn around to a great extent very recently. And whatever we've seen in terms of earnings, more than that, the business commentary outlook for the new financial year starting 1st April 2024, and of course the opportunities, 225 could be the target on the fundamental side from a long-term point of view on Ashok Leyland.
Okay, that is the move that is coming in Ashok Leyland. Today's technical position on Ashok Leyland is very interesting. Nilesh, coming to you, it's moving from a group of moving averages. You know, everything is here: 100, 50, 20, 10, 8, 5. All of them providing support to Ashok Leyland. What is it saying to you?
Absolutely. So a cluster of support is somewhere in the range of 170 to 175. And looking at the today's action where we have seen a good OI addition as well. So long build-up is certainly happening here. And we may see a quick move on the upside in a very short run towards 185. So roughly around 5% move can be seen in this particular counter. Has a very strong support of its 200 exponential moving average at 170. So that should be the stop loss. 180 immediate target followed by 185. So long position can still be remain, on the long side. One can still buy at current level, looking at the risk and reward, which is looking slightly on a favorable side.
Okay, absolutely got that. And I think we should pull up Nalco as well. The stock is up over 100% in just 1 year. One of the top gainers for you from the small cap space, and the company also posted good set of numbers for the third quarter. The profit is up around 84%. So coming to you firstly, Nilesh, for a quick technical check, then I'll go to Mr. Shah as well. But what are the charts telling you for Nalco?
So charts are still positive. Looking at the current structure, so on the upside, there is still a potential for further up to continue towards 175 to 180. But this support is certainly is placed somewhere around 145. So at current level, the risk and reward is not favorable. I would rather wait for some decline towards 160 or maybe 155. Then probably it can be added for further upside move to continue towards 175 to 185.
Okay. And Mr. Shah, do you track Nalco?
Yeah, so one of the names in the metal universe that we are positive. Strong business commentary from the management post the third quarter earnings, Tanya, that we saw very recently. Like the stock, but I mean, with the kind of momentum that we've seen over the last 2-3 days, there might be some headwinds in terms of more headroom or profit booking coming in. But fundamentally, it looks strong. We have coverage on that.
Okay, absolutely. Got that. And since we are discussing metal space only, so Shail, I was saying that the Ministry of Coal on Tuesday said that it has received 40 bids for the commercial auction of coal mines, and the action you can see on JSW Steel and Tata Steel, which are among the key bidders. So coming to you, Nilesh, for a quick technical check on Tata Steel and JSW Steel as well.
So within metal space, as we mentioned, JSPL is one stock that we are liking, and another stock that we are liking is JSW Steel as well. So structure for this particular counter looks positive. We might see a breakout as well. So the breakout level is placed somewhere around 840, 344, and post then we might see a move towards 860 to 880. So yes, at current level, it can be bought keeping stop loss below 820. Apart from that, Tata Steel is another counter where the structure looks positive for 146 to 148. Support is somewhere near about 141, so that should be the stop loss.
Okay, so these are the metal space that is being looked at. Tanya, let's do a detour on the FNO space now. In terms of profit booking, we have Bajaj Auto slipping 1.3% lower at 8108. There should be no complaints at all. This has been one of the outstanding performers of 2023 and so far in 2024. Profit booking in Hero Motors 4572, 2% lower. Where are stocks moving into premium? This is interesting. Okay. Motherson Sumi, futures are quoting at a premium to spot 114.60. Goran, coming to you, auto ancillaries have been on a nice uptick given the strength that we are observing in parent OEMs. Anything that catches your fancy in the auto ancillary space?
Uno Minda, CIE Automotive, Bosch Limited, both battery manufacturing companies, Excite Industries as well as Hamara Raja Automotive. Tire companies, I think last time we mentioned about Apollo Tires as an investment idea a couple of months back. JK Tire is the other one that we are positive on. And Shell, my sense is with the kind of center and focus that is going to be there on the automotive industry from the government side in terms of policies, and also the fact that the government wants to bring India to #1 position from #3 in terms of global manufacturing of automobiles in India. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities across segment, automobiles, auto ancillary, tire and battery manufacturing.
What's interesting, Tanya, is that this is the characteristic of a bull market. You request for one pick from a particular sector, and Gaurang's come up with 7. So, Excite, Amara Raja Batteries, of course, the Minda, both twins there, and of course, tire companies as well. I hope this continues forever, and this is how the markets are. I'll have to mark National Aluminium again. That's because I've seen a block deal of 2.26 crores, and the volume is fantastic. I think this is a record high on this one, the counter. Of course, both Nilesh and Gaurang have given us their view on National Aluminium. Let's just look at the positioning. No, it's still not a record high. The highest level was 169.30, but at 165 the counter is going great guns. The volume, of course, is also fairly decent. 57.4 lakh shares have been traded. Let's do a reverse volume buzzer picture and tell you where exactly is money moving in. Okay, this will be available on this part of the software, and let's look at volume buzzers. Okay, we have I think a patch on reality today. Lodha developers 1150, this is 3% higher, and already 3.4 times the 5-day average has been clicked, about 17.3 lakh shares. ABB, we've discussed this, 48.10, 6% higher. 7.5 lakh shares have been traded. This is already 3.2 times the 5-day average. You have the likes of Suntech Realty. This is something that was picked up by Vaishali yesterday in the afternoon show. 494, 2.5% higher. Marico, the volume is 12 lakh shares. It's already 1 time. Devyani International, 3.5% higher. This is on a volume of 46 lakh 60,000, which is 1 time average. Lots of interesting things happening. I wanted to mark NIACL and GIC Ray. These are public insurers which are doing phenomenally well. 10% uptick on NIACL, 308, and GIC Ray is also about 8.5% higher. Gaurang, coming to you, what's happening here on these two companies?
Honestly, Shail, I don't have any deeper insight, nor do we have any coverage, but in the non-life general insurance category, we like ICICI Lombard. And my sense is that as we have more opportunities and more businesses coming across, opportunities, like for life insurance companies post-pandemic, I think wisdom has prevailed upon a lot of individuals to go in for a larger sum assured and pay out more premiums to the insurance companies and don't take insurance as a tax-saving product. That thought process, similar is going to be the opportunity for general and non-life insurance companies in terms of new insurances coming through their way. Won't comment on the two that you mentioned, but yeah, ICICI Lombard is something that we have positive coverage.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with that, it's now time for us to take a short and quick break, but lots more coming up for you on the other side. Stay tuned.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors. Darwin Platform
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and now coming to you, Nilesh, for a quick technical check on Steel Authority of India, then Gas Authority, and as well as the BHEL as well. Because remember, Shail, last time when I was here on the show, we discussed these 3 stocks, SAIL, BAIL and GAIL. So which among these 3 do you prefer, Nilesh? And quick technical check on these 3 stocks.
Right. So, in fact, out of these three, two stocks are constantly moving in higher trajectory. That is GAIL and BHAIL. Both the stocks have a very strong chart formation, and Gas Authority looks strong for 190 sort of target on the upside. Support is somewhere around 180, so that should be the stop loss. Apart from that, BHEL, this is another stock which is trading. I think it's at all-time high. Yes, so it's not all-time high, but it's at 52-week high. The structure looks strong. So one can keep a stop loss below 222 and upside is open for 240 to 245. Steel Authority, although metals are moving today, so we are witnessing a positive move here as well. And we expect this pullback to continue towards the 138 to 142. So one can keep a stop loss below 127 for the long positions.
Okay. Tanya, what I'll do is, let's look at where momentum is at its peak, and therefore we'll look at circuit stocks on circuit, and I'll start with the one that you had mentioned, TFCI. It's at a 5% upper circuit, 231.20. A huge block deal happening as of yesterday, but today's volumes aren't bad either. 4.8 lakh shares have been traded. The stock is limit up. Paytm 395, 5% higher. 8 lakh shares have been traded. There is liquidity available at the upper circuit as well. There is RS Software 156.55, 5% higher. Not much of volume. Okay. Now let's look at stocks that are at all-time highs within the NSE 500. Okay. Archean Chemicals Limited, ACI 762, 4%, 3% higher. You have Phoenix Mills Limited. This is a nationwide company that makes shopping malls. 2,900, 3% higher. The Palladium Mall in Lower Parel, Mumbai is their flagship mall. You have Siemens 4,500 for you, 1.4% higher, running in sync with our friend ABB. ACC is at a record high now. I'm so sorry. ICICI Bank is at a record high, 1,063, 1.3% higher. And we have strong moves coming in Indian Hotels and M&M, respectively, in blue sky territory. Tanya.
Absolutely. You know, Shail, I want to discuss some of the defense names with Nilesh as well, because, you know, we have seen a stellar action, price action on these particular stocks, but these stocks are again in focus because the Defense Acquisition Council has approved capital acquisition proposals worth 84,560 odd crore rupees. So, of course, these stocks will be in focus going ahead as well. But any top picks that you still have from the defense space, Nilesh, for the medium term?
So HAL, sorry, so that stocks continues to remain on a radar as well within defense space. And the structure is looking still looking positive, although we have witnessed good consolidation in past 2 to 3 weeks now, where the upside resistance is somewhere placed around 3,100. At the same time, a good base formation can be seen somewhere around 2,800 to 2,850 zone. So if at all we see any dip towards 2,950, 2,900, that will give a good opportunity to add fresh long for the upside target of 3,100 on immediate basis. And if at all it breaches 3,100, then we might see a spurt towards 3,300 to 3,500 as well. So this particular counter is something that we are looking positive, and it has a potential to move towards 3,500 as well.
Okay, got that. And you know, Shail, Container Corporation of India, that stock is also picking up. If you see from the PSE space, 1,020, that's the level, already doubled from its 52-week low of 555 odd level. But what do the technical charts suggest now for Container Corp?
So Tanya, the stock also came on my radar as well just now. So looking strong for a quick move towards the 1,030 to 1,040. So that these are the targets one can eye on immediate basis. Keeping stop loss below 1,005, it can be added.
Sakshi, Tanya will focus on hotel stocks. Some of them are really burning up the charts. We have, of course, a fresh record high on Indian hotels. That's right there in front of the screen for you. We have a strong move coming into the likes of Lemon Tree, 144 for you. This is moving fairly rapidly, 2% higher. And we have EIH hotels 40430, 1.5% higher. Chalet at 846 is a percent higher. And we have the likes of Taj GVK 400 rupees for you. This is also moving 6.86% higher. Across the board, there is fairly decent moves coming in. Royal Orchid Hotels at about 430 is also at its day's high and a record high. So this is one other sector that's clicking.
We have seen a lot of underperformance for this particular counter. This has remained under pressure. But good part is that it has a major support somewhere in the range of 140 to 145. And from those levels itself, we have witnessed a recovery. And the stock is making an attempt to test the levels of 180 to 185 in the near term. But I'm not that positive for this particular counter. It can be played only from a pullback point of view. For the upside target of 185 to 190, support is somewhere around 155. So that should be the stop loss. Today we saw a gap up opening. So this particular gap, if it gets filled, then there could be possibility of some more consolidation to continue. But yes, pullback is very much likely.
Okay. Got that, Nilesh. And let's discuss some of the other buzzing stocks as well. Kalyan Jewellers, that is also buzzing in today's trading session. 2% uptick there, 371, that's the level. And the 52-week high for this stock is 409. What are the charts telling you for Kalyan Jewellers, Nilesh?
So structure is no doubt on a positive side. We have witnessed a good momentum, and in the previous week, the stock hit a fresh record high as well. So yes, on the back of that, it can be bought keeping stop loss below 345. But this is highly volatile stock, so strict stop loss should be maintained, and it has a potential to retest its previous record high of 400 plus. So yes, looks positive. Apart from that, within this space, Senco Gold is another stock that is also trading at all-time highs. So that can also be looked at. It has a slightly, it is sort of a liquid counter as well. So watch out for that. And the structure is positive for this particular counter. For upside move to continue towards 850 to 880, stop loss can be placed below 790.
So we are at 9:50, ladies and gentlemen. The first half an hour, 35 minutes of trade is over. Let's look at how the markets are positioned. We'll start with the Nifty. This is at a record high. If you look at the price in a totality, 22234 for you. This is 37 points higher, and the intraday high within this gap is 22248. So this is a very big plus. This is the 7th consecutive day of the uptrend, and we are looking at a fairly strong contribution coming in from ICICI Bank, which is at a record high. Out of the 35 points that the Nifty is up, 23 are coming in from ICICI Bank. Also in the green are TCS and Reliance, contributing 7 points each. M&M is contributing 5 points, and JSW Steel 5 points. What is pulling the index down? It's Infosys. It's contributing a negative 19 points after a 1.3% fall on the counter. L&T, Power Grid, Axis Bank and Hero Motors respectively 2 and 3 points. This is how the index is structured. Within Market Watch, let's look at the top gainers in terms of prices as far as Nifty is concerned. It's Metals Day. Tata Steel 2.7% higher, JSW Steel 2.5% higher, Hindalco 2.2% higher. The first 3 slots within the Nifty in terms of top gainers are the metal counters. Record high on ICICI Bank, 1062. Tractor and SUV maker M&M moving 1.8% higher, and iShares about 3873. Let's look at the advanced decline numbers. That gives you an edge onto how the market is behaving. Within the Nifty, the advanced decline is 3:2. For every 2 stocks that fall, 3 are in rising. Nifty 500, the advanced decline is 340 shares to 155. That's really, really good. Let's look at the Nifty mid-cap and small-cap. The Nifty mid-cap 100 index is 1/3% higher, 49,407 for you. Out of 100 shares, 71 are in the green. The small-cap index is 0.5% higher. Out of the 100 small-cap shares, 63 are in the green. So this is something very exciting. And if you look at the 2 top gaining indices, Nifty PSU Bank, the index is 1.4% higher, 7,210. All 12 stocks are in the green. The Realty Index 905, 2% higher. 9 out of 10 stocks are in the green. Tanya.
Okay, absolutely. So that was the market wrap for you. But Nilesh, before we let you go, your quick word on BPCL, HPCL and IOC. I mean, which OMC stock is better placed according to you? We have seen earnings upgrade also coming in FY24 so far for these stocks, and these stocks have been doing really well of late as well. But which stock do you prefer when it comes to the OMC space?
So Tanya, in fact, all these 3 stocks are looking on a positive side, but we need to wait for some meaningful correction for fresh entry. But if I have to choose any one out of all these 3, that would be IOC. Again, looking at the structure, it is constantly forming a new record high, and it looks like it is likely to test 200 sort of levels on immediate basis. The support is placed somewhere around 180, so that should be the stop loss. So in fact, all these 3 counters are looking strong. IOC can be the preferred bet amongst all.
Okay, absolutely. And any stock that we might have missed and is looking good on technical charts according to you? Any bonus stock that you would like to recommend for our viewers?
Right, Tanya. So one stock that has come on my radar, and this is Piramal Enterprise Limited. So after long underperformance, this particular counter has formed a triple bottom. And even if you look at the OI activity, it is not picked up yet, but it looks like it is breaking out from a descending triangle formation breakout. The upside seems to be open for 960, 980, or probably 1000. These are the 3 levels to be watched out for on the upside. 900 is likely to act as a psychological support zone, and we are also witnessing fresh put writing at 900 strike. So yes, this particular counter looks strong for the day and also from next 2 to 3 days point of view.
Okay, absolutely got that. And any PSU pick that you would like to recommend for the medium term?
So one stock that is ONGC, that is one stock that we are liking a lot within all the PSU stocks. So this particular counter is looking positive for 300 plus sort of target on immediate basis. 265 should be the stop loss.
And you know, Shail, one stock that I would like to discuss before we wrap up is Tata Motors, because I have been tracking this stock and the targets are as high as 1060, 1050. So right now the stock is trading at 931 odd level, but let's take a quick technical check, Nilesh, on Tata Motors for the medium term.
So yes, from medium to long term, I think Tata Motors could be a preferred bet within all the auto names that we have. So Tata Motors at current level, I would rather wait for some dip towards 900 to buy fresh long side positions, keeping stop loss below 850. So 850 is the next major support for this particular counter, and medium to slightly position target for this particular counter comes around 1050. So the levels that you have mentioned, yes, that is very much likely from near-term point of view, but advisable to buy in a staggered manner given the kind of run-up that we saw in last couple of weeks now. So it is looking slightly in the over territory. Wait for some meaningful correction for fresh entry.
Okay, absolutely. So buy at staggered manner. 850 is the support, 1050 is the target. And on that wonderful note, thank you so much, Nilesh, for sharing all the technical picks with us and being with us here on BTTV. And Shail, thanks to you as well, as always, for sharing the excellent data with us as well. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to wrap up this edition of Market Today, but lots more coming up for you only on BTTV. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned, and many thanks for watching.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
Dharmesh, I wanted to ask you on the QSR space, especially Jubilant Foodworks, that's come back in flavor today after a long haul. What exactly is going on with this space? There was a time post-COVID when everybody was betting big on the QSR space because there was a revenge buying of sorts, revenge travel, revenge going out. That was a theme that panned out. But things have been lying low for some point when we talk about the QSR chains. So stocks like Devyani International, Sapphire Foods, Jubilant Foods, for example. How would you look at this space entirely, and on Jubilant Foods if you have a view?
Yeah, sure, okay. I think reality check has stepped in. I mean, QSR, as far as food consumption is concerned, everybody is conscious of their health and their weight gain, which is leading to. So that